Thanks to the support as a channel member, Family Vibes. Well, contrary to my expectations at the end of the last episode, we've actually won 2 league matches. They are the only 2 league matches we've won. We've lost the other 5, including a 7-1 defeat, and we've lost the last 3 in a row. So things aren't going incredibly well. I've also applied for loads of jobs across Africa and Asia in all of the top leagues and sometimes the second top leagues if they're high reputation countries, and not had a single interview. So I'm starting to suspect, similar to what we learned when we were at Precision, without a coaching badge, the only way I'm going to get an interview at another club is to leave this club. So I'm now thinking, with us teetering just outside the relegation zone with a quarter of the season gone, if I can somehow keep the Raging Mackerel in this league, I can leave with good conscience, head held high, resign, and then start getting some applications out. So I think that's my new plan. We do have to stop losing matches, though, if I'm going to avoid that relegation that will, frankly, ruin everything. And look at the state of that. I mean, I have no idea how this one happened. Nakhon Ratchasima, how good are they? Yeah, they're rubbish. They're even worse than we are. That's why we were able to put 5 goals past them. But we lost 6-1 in our next game, then somehow picked up another win against another team that are below us in the league. Obviously, they're going to be below us. But then a narrow defeat, got through the first round of the cup, but knocked out in the second. And this 7-1 defeat against Ratchaburi, I mean, they absolutely rattled goals past us. It was not a nice time. And then we got comfortably knocked out of the cup by the team that we'd beaten earlier on. So that suggests we're in decline, which is nice. We played Chonburi today. It's on the telly, and they are a team who are roughly around about where we are, 2 places above us, although it doesn't tell the whole story. They've won 4 matches. They've got 12 points. We've only got 6, so we can't catch them even if we beat them. The one high point of the season so far is Putt Lane, who is still continuing to score almost a goal a game like he did in the league below. We've got a proper striker there who actually is starting to develop a decent value as well. So with us on 100% retained transfer revenue, if he can keep scoring at the rate he is, we get to the next transfer window. He still has 18 months on his contract. If we could sell him for like £500,000, that does change everything. So that's a thing that would possibly be helpful. There you go. Just get myself back in budget. Don't want to give the board any reason to fire me. Due to a club being in a takeover process. What takeover process? Apparently we're in the process of a board takeover as well. I wasn't aware of that. Hopefully it's a tycoon. A Thai tycoon. That would be great. Let's go and play Chonburi. This is the team. Bunmac is in goal because he's actually better than Ouchie, and Ouchie conceded 7 goals. So Bunmac is back. We've then got new club captain Foldrang. I love him. Rating-wise, he's not very good, but we saw in the last episode, he is our last-ditch hero, and I love him, and he's now our captain. So Foldrang at left-back, then Juheng Manpati, Kitty, and Sayedi at right-back, Makmi at the base of the midfield, Nukneen and Steele ahead of him. Igor has picked up an injury, which is not ideal. He's out for a couple of weeks with pulled knee ligaments. Ratinho is just back from injury, so hopefully him returning we'll see a little bit of a reversal of fortunes. He's got our highest average rating throughout the squad, despite not scoring as many goals as Putt Lane. He is playing out on the left, and we use him as an inside forward now rather than the playmaker. Pizzo on the right, who is also having a pretty good season, and Putt Lane at front. The front 3 is good enough for this league. We can score goals on occasions. The problem is, getting the ball to the 3 of them, which without Igor in the team is a challenge, and not conceding loads of goals at the other end is also proving to be quite difficult for us as well. But fingers crossed, a win here today would be a huge result. It puts us back ahead of the Kev ratio. If you're not familiar with the Kev ratio, it's a long running thing here on the channel where basically when you're in a relegation battle, as we are this season, as long as you have at least as many points as games played, you'll probably be okay. We're 1 point below the Kev ratio at the moment, but that goal would put us above the Kev ratio if everything ended here. 2 minutes on the clock. Pizzo has scored a really good goal. It's a great finish. This is what I mean about the attackers being good enough. We just need to get the ball to them. Kitty played it over the top. Pizzo, 1 touch, then whacks it across goal. 1-0 to us, and that would put us to 9 points after 8 games played, i.e. above the Kev ratio, albeit with a terrible goal difference, because when we lose, we do tend to get absolutely thumped. because we're not very good. Did I mention we're not very good? Can we have the final whistle now? I'm not really in favour of leaving the other team with 88 minutes to score a goal. I think we might have scored a little bit too early there. We've just woken them up. I think Jamicorn is a player we've had on loan at one point or another. We've certainly had a Jamicorn. I want to sign Butsing. That's a great name. We've identified 2 opposition players there, which of course means they're going to score against us. But fingers crossed, with Bunmac back in goal, we'll have less ouchies. The ouchie thing, as much as it was a hilarious meme, it's all right in the videos, but when I'm sat here doing the in-betweeny bits and the 7th goal's gone in and I'm chuckling to myself going, oh, another ouch. Yeah, that's not as much fun as it is when I'm playing up for the camera. Putt Lane is in behind here, though. Surely he's fouled there. Ratinho was backing him up, but unfortunately he's not able to get the shot away. That was an example of the attackers looking pretty useful, but just not getting the support from the rest of the team. And unfortunately, that is kind of a regular issue. I mean, you can see we're half an hour in. We've still only had the 1 shot. Luckily, we scored from it, but 1 shot after half an hour in a home match that we have to win is not ideal. And it's also not ideal that there's 3 teams relegated from this league. That adds an awful lot of pressure that we didn't need. We won the league last year. We didn't need 3 promotion spots. I suggest we change it so it's just 1 up, 1 down between this league and the one below. For now, obviously, if we get relegated this year, don't change it for next year. If you can change the rules mid-season now and make it 1 relegation spot, I'm starting to think we're not the absolute worst team in the league. We are probably in the worst 3, though. So we need a little bit of luck to go our way to not finish in the bottom 3, which, based on current form, hasn't been great. But Putt Lane scores again. 8 goals this season for him now. I don't see how we keep hold of him. I certainly don't imagine he's ever going to sign another contract with us. But the fact we've got him for 18 months means, unless we sell him for big money, he's going to be here longer than I am, because I'm almost certainly off at the end of the season no matter what happens. Because, you know, we can't stay here forever. We've got Champions Leagues to win. I am conscious of my in-game age as well. I don't want to be turning up in Europe as an 80-year-old. We need to start making some progress towards winning a Champions League somewhere, whether it's here, whether it's Africa. We could even head to South America, North America. The only place I don't really want to go yet is Europe. And I say it's me not wanting to go there. I think the chances of me getting a job in Europe are close to 0 at the moment, but I do kind of feel like getting a job in Europe spoils the save a little bit. We have to do Europe last, because once you've won the European Champions League, you can walk into the top job in any of the other continents, and it kind of defeats the purpose. Whereas if we were to win the Asian Champions League, for example, I don't know that necessarily allows us to walk into a top Premier League team in Europe. You probably still have to go the long way round. And I don't know that the African Champions League adds much kudos to that situation either. You could probably win a couple of Champions Leagues before anyone starts taking you seriously, and that's all part of the fun, isn't it? We're not going to bring Yuyen on. We're quite limited with substitute options that we've got available now. We're starting to get a few injuries, so Yuyen can stay on the bench. I thought we were going to make this comfortable for a minute there. 2-0 up with 7 minutes to go. I'm starting to think we might hold on, and this is a huge result if we do manage to hold on. Not just because it puts us back above the Kev ratio, but because it stops the rot. We'd lost 3 games in a row going into this one. So being able to now pick up a win is very important for morale. And we now go and face the team that are rock bottom and only have 1 point all season. If we can beat them as well, all of a sudden we're in that mid-table mix, which is a nice place to be. So if we head over to Nakhon Si Thammarat Stadium, have a look to see where this whole settlement seems interesting. So it looks like it all just kind of lives along this long road here. Is that a road or a rail line? I think it's a road. And it looks like the whole city is kind of either side of that road. But it is right down in the dangly bit. I don't know that we've been down in the dangly bit yet. We're almost into Malaysia. But this is another... We've had some long journeys now we're in this top division. But if we have a look at the satellite view, somewhere in here, there's a football pitch. I've lost the football pitch. Can we search again, please? Where is it? It's up here. There we go. That looks like, I mean, it looks like another legitimate one. There's a little one next door, but a proper football pitch. Again, with the athletics tracks. They love an athletics track in Thailand. It's like they're more into athletics than they are football, which is madness. What on earth is this? It's an outdoor gym. This is probably where they train. This is where we're doing the warm-up. That's incredible. It's so colourful as well. There's some money around here, isn't there? You don't get that in the rough areas where the bins have spilled out over the floor. And there is the stadium in there, I think. It's not quite as fancy as some of the ones we've been to lately. I mean, you could literally hop over that fence and be on the terracing, but I think we're in quite a well-off area here. This looks very fancy. The whole area, look, very clean, very fancy. There's definitely investment. The grass has been cut out here. Minimal sand has been poured over it to cover the not very grassy bits. I'd manage this lot. I'd come here, and I might even get the opportunity to manage them because they've not had a very nice start to the season at all. If we look at their trajectory over the last few years, and they do kind of bob back and forth between the top two leagues, but crucially different to us, they have an actual capacity 4,700, and presumably have more money than us as well. I mean, if we have a look at the detailed financials in this league. Salary per annum, we're down there paying 700,000 as the lowest one. Next lowest, by the way, 2 million. But this lot that we're playing today, I think it's them. But I mean, they've got a £2 million budget. They've got nearly 3 times as much to spend on players as we have. So I think I'd definitely go if the opportunity presented itself. We're not making any changes to our team. We just won a match. Why on earth would we change the team in those circumstances? And fingers crossed. I don't think we've won an away game yet this season. So this would be quite the moment if we could find a way to win our first away game. And frankly, we're playing against a team that has 1 point all season. You'd expect us to at least be able to get a draw. If we come here and lose, that is a problem. Because this is, when I said in the last match, we're not the absolute worst team in the league. No, because we are playing the absolute worst team in the league. We are afraid of travelling away from home, as demonstrated by the fact we're half an hour in and there hasn't even been a highlight yet. But we've got to keep a clean sheet, and we've got to hope we can get the ball up to that front three that we always rave about. But the first highlight does go to them. Kitty heads it clear and then chases onto his own clearance. He's going to try and start the counter-attack, releases Ratinho. Putt lanes one-on-one with his defender, and Pizzo's in acres of space. If he can find either of them, Ratinho goes on his own when he definitely shouldn't have done. And we've won a corner. Ratinho, by the way, is on the transfer list at his own request because he's got a grumpy on. Presumably he's realised he's only earning £275 a week, and his backup Supic is on like 1,600. That's not actually officially what he's annoyed about. It's lack of depth in various positions is what's upset him. I just want to show him the club finances. And to be fair, his response will probably be, well, that's not my problem, is it? I agreed a 2-year deal at £275 a week. You're the idiot who paid a load of reserves over £1,000. So it does probably, I think he's probably justified in wanting to leave, but he's not justified in shooting then when he should have laid it across. He considers himself a deep lying forward. He's supposed to be a creator. He had our 2 best attackers alongside him in space and decided to hit the ball wide. And we've now gone at the other end and conceded. If we lose to this lot, we're a laughing stock because they are a joke. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see us concede again. How can we do so well at home and so poorly away from home? I don't know why it makes such a difference. And I know the comments are going to be in with, well, Kev, you need a different tactic away from home. Do I, balls? I've played hundreds of seasons of FM24 at this point, and I've never once had a different tactic away from home. It's never stopped me from winning. Just because this season it's not going well doesn't mean that's the right way to play. We are still level with the Kev ratio. Can we somehow find an equaliser? I'll take a draw at this point. With half an hour to go, we've still not had... I mean, we had that one attacking highlight, I guess, where Ratinho absolutely bottled it. And there's Steele, who turns and tries to dance around the fullback, ends up playing it back to Foldrang, and now Nuckneen. Foldrang again, cross comes in, Pizzo's there, Pizzo with the header, and Pizzo grabs the equaliser. It's a 5th goal of the season for him. I have 2 South African boys are heroes. I kind of feel like I want my next job to be in South Africa, and I want to take these 2 with me, because obviously bring them back home. But they've got to be good enough for the top flight in South Africa. They're good enough for the Thai top flight. I don't know how the 2 are comparable. But these 2 boys, I still don't really know why they came here. I don't really understand. But they did, and they're great. Pizzo now with the corner. Kitty's there! And Kitty scores his first goal in about 2 years in a Raging Mackerel shirt. And now we'll drop back to a positive mentality. We've got our all-important 2 goals. And if we can make it back-to-back wins, this would be the first time this season we'd have secured back-to-back wins. And that would be huge. Let's have a look. Check in on our fitness levels. Right. Nuckneen. Not having the best of games. He's on a yellow card. Putt Lane having a rare poor performance. We'll bring Supik on for him. And we'll also bring on Hyong at the back. Just freshen things up a little bit. Supik, a rare opportunity to play up front. He is a centre forward who we force to play out wide more often than not. But he can have a little run up front. Yu Yen is also now on the transfer list because he's not playing often enough. So I've kind of fallen out with Yu Yen. Well, I think I'm going to bring him on here. Supik got 10 minutes playing up front. And then we'll also take off Makmi, and Sakwanit can come on at the base of the midfield. And we just need to hold on now. Steele plays it to Pizzo. Pizzo has options ahead of him in the middle there. There's 3 blue shirts. Plays it across. Supik's hit the post. Oh, that would have been the cherry on top. That would have rubber stamped it. I mean, we've played very well. Certainly in this second half, we look like a decent team. And now we've got a corner. It's going to be Foldrang to take with Ratinho now off the pitch. We've already scored from one corner today. We still have Sayedi on the pitch. Are we going to aim at him? We're not. It's going to be Hyong, and Hong Uk Hyong has scored his first goal for the club. We're corner FC again. We're back. We're back doing set pieces. It's been so long, but it's 3-1 now, and surely that confirms back-to-back wins for the first time this season. We are comfortably above the Kev ratio. We're only 6 points behind 5th place Bangkok, who are in a Champions League qualification spot. We're as close to the Champions League as we are to relegation right now, points-wise. I mean, quality-wise, we are still absolute bobbins, and we just played a couple of poor teams in a league that doesn't have a lot of teams in, so it makes a big difference when you win back-to-back matches. But that is a much healthier position to be in at the end of the episode than we were in at the start. We will check in again on potential jobs that are available. You can see I am applying for pretty much anything that's in a top division and not getting anywhere. But back-to-back wins, lovely, lovely, lovely. Kitty's tired. Kitty can have a little bit of a rest. It'll be fine. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.